Mate, welcome to Perth. Just flown in and red eye on the way out on Sunday. So when you get the checkered flag first, it's going to be a cold drink. We've spoken with the team. No upgrading to business. All right, it's one in, all in.
Yeah. No, we're all into it. If we have a good Sunday, feel sorry for the people working that flight because it'll get pretty rowdy. Midnight Express straight out of Perth. But yeah, hopefully that's a problem we got.
Now, we did speak, just privately while we were chit-chatting about, the Perth track, and you love Bathurst, obviously. I'm sure it's like the MCG of the sporting venues for footballers. But how's the history been in Perth? And you said, it could be the worst track in the world, but if you win, it's great. It could be the best track in the world, but if you go no good, it's no good. How's the history in Perth been?
We had a really good year last year here. We had a car on the podium every race and got 4 or 5 trophies between both of us and a couple poles and stuff. So if we can emulate that this year, we'll be wrapped because we haven't had the best start to the season. So we'll be looking at getting some trophies this weekend. But Perth's fun. It's obviously quite a short track. So if you don't do a good job, you get found out pretty quick because the gaps are so small. So you got to really nail it here. Yeah.
Just going back quickly to team, how many altogether, like obviously pit crew and people that we wouldn't even think of, how many in your team altogether?
Yeah, so here this weekend we'll have about 20, and then over the back at the workshop total is about 40. So there's a lot more than what you see on the eye. Obviously, the cars and us and the pit stop crew, but there's heaps of people behind the scenes getting it done, and everyone plays a vital role in what happens.
Who are we looking at when we're watching in your pit? Obviously, the pit crew's in there. Who are the extra people that are just looking at the TV going, ooh, oh, good. Who are those folk?
They would be most of them are engineers and car engineers, data engineers, strategy guys, whatever roles they're in. But
any hangers-on are in there, like, that's my girlfriend, nip the girlfriend in, or any loose cannons?
No, everyone in our gear is pretty good. Obviously, behind that, they'll have guests and stuff behind, which you might see as well. But the people with the notepads and the computers and everything, they're working pretty hard.
Real deal, yeah, okay.
And they obviously have the radio to us in the car as well, so that we've got direct communication with all those people looking at the screens.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
Now, my theory lives on, Michelle.
Go on.
Race car drivers, they're a very attractive breed.
I've said this about the F1s.
I'm yet to find an unattractive race car driver.
I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to seem,
uncomfortable.
I've got to ask now for the ladies, are you a single man?
Yeah, I am. So, Perth's open. I don't know.
Ladies,
call a good crowbar in.
If you're not familiar with this man, Anton Di Pasquale, just
jump on there
Google
and
him
Google.
up.
Mate,
he's shooting out real quick on Sunday as well, so just don't waste time.
I'll be coming back in the studio the way this is going. This is good. This is good for my stocks.
And honestly, send in, go ahead to Sean's DMs and we'll work from there. But
don't do that. He'll get it all off at the pass. You know that.
But when you're flying around foot to the floor, what speeds are you reaching?
So Bathurst would be our fastest, and we're just under 300.
That's when they go off the side a little bit, don't they?
They're flying, yeah. And then Grand Prix is a fast one as well, with that new back chicane. So yeah, most tracks we're obviously 250 plus, but Bathurst, just under 300. It's moving.
Now you're from Werribee in Victoria. I assume you took up racing cars, fleeing from police or something out at Werribee.
Close.
How'd you get into it?
On the farms out in Werribee, so had bikes and paddock bashers and all that stuff. And
what's
then
farming out in Werribee? What are they doing there?
all veggies.
Yeah, I knew a lettuce grower out that way.
Yeah.
Long
So
no, just a listener from another station we used to work at. Go on, sorry, keep going. Just a little bit. Just wondering.
And then crashed my motorbike a lot, and then Mum probably thought it was best to either stop that or get a go-kart or something. So got a go-kart, and then I went racing and haven't looked back since.
They call me Break Late Alice around Perth because I'm pretty quick through the streets. Have you had any big pranks? Like, is there moments where you go, wow, that was lucky to get away the way you have after you said you've had the stacks on the motorbike?
And do you get that prickling feeling all over your body like I do when it nearly happens?
Yeah. Close your eyes.
It's surprising when you have a massive one. It sort of happens in slow motion.
Yeah.
It happens a lot slower than what it looks, which is probably worse than if it just happened quick. But I've had a couple big ones at Bathurst, like a stuck throttle into the fence, which was pretty big. That was a bit of and that it tickled you up a little bit. But other than that, touch wood, our cars over the years have come pretty safe, so you can have a fair old whack and walk away.
I can just imagine the old sorry engineers, that one's for you guys to fix. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, that's probably the worst thing is when you do have a shunt and there's an all-nighter or there's 6 hours work or whatever. You're like, Sorry, boys. I'll
Off to
see you in the morning.
Also, too, I've heard, like, when you have a victory or something, you see the guys, you might jump on top of the car or something, and I've been told that they hate that as well because they've got to replace the roof. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, you'd have to have a fair crack at it.
Maybe if I
reckon-
jumped on the
If
roof,
you're
not a
If you're a
driver.
co-host, you're a
I
co-pilot,
think,
rather.
I think if you want a race big enough to jump on the roof, they're okay. They're okay with the damage.
Yeah,
if
we'll,
that,
fix,
if
we'll
that
fix that
happens,
little
yeah.
dent. Yeah, and for me, it might be a crushed car, but apart from that, old Bowser jumping on top. Yeah, mate. So this weekend, before we let you go, you got a busy day, I'm sure. The expectations for the team? You said the first couple of weeks had been a little bit slower than you'd hope, but how confident are you this weekend?
It's an interesting year because we have all new cars for the whole field. So over the last, say, 10 years or so, you've had a decent form guide. Oh, yeah, last year we did this or, X amount. But now it's every race. It's the first time with these cars at this track, and it's changing so much round to round. So you don't have a genuine, I think we're going to be
Let's do
top
this
5
again or whatever. Yeah.
You could roll out and you could be fastest and you go, okay, yeah, cool, that's good. Or you could be 15th and struggle and you go, okay, well, better work to do. We don't actually have a really good idea. Obviously, everyone's working super hard, so we'd like to think we're nailing it, and we'll be at the front somewhere. That's sort of where we always expect to be.
Yeah.
But in about 24 hours time when we start practicing, I'll let you know where my expectations lie after that.
Nice. We'll be rooting for you, mate. Good luck on the
Absolutely.
weekend.
I'm here for the people. Are you going to this signing session?
I will be there.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies, it's on at Forest Place, Perth CBD, 12 through to 1. Line
There you
up.
go.
There you
See
go.
you.
See you
I'm
there.
here for you,
You'll meet
bro.
old Shoggles down there.